All right, so hello, fellow grad school students. Um, so the first part of this video, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the Yellow River Wildlife Sanctuary, which when I was a kid, it was called the Yellow River Game Ranch. If you're born in and around Gwinnett, you might have gone to it when you were a little kid. All right, however, it has closed down once, but somebody reopened it, which is great. But now, if you can see here, this is a hyperlink. All right, they're planning on building like 160 home complex right next to it, which is really going to be problematic for the animals, for the drainage, for the topography of the land. So that first one that I highlighted is just a little video talking about it. And then last but not least is the petition. If you can click that and sign it, that'd be great, because we do want to save this nice wildlife sanctuary in the middle of Gwinnett County. It's great. It's inexpensive. If you don't feel like going all the way to Atlanta to see some animals, it's a great opportunity to, do that. So that's kind of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like the why I've done this, and now we'll switch over kind of into teacher mode and do this virtual field trip. All right, here we go. Morning, kiddos. Hope y'all are well today. Today we're going to do a virtual tour of the Yellow River Wildlife Sanctuary. So two things before we get started. This is a great little place in Lilburn, Georgia, not too far away from Marist. And if you ever want to go see some animals and don't feel like getting into the heart of Atlanta, feel free to do so. So two things I want you to watch. First is a short little video about the threats that are going on in and around the wildlife sanctuary. And then if you can, I would love for you to help sign this petition. This is to protect it, to keep it going, and to help preserve this for many generations to come. All right, so let's hop into it. Here's the setup, and here's kind of the layout of the wildlife sanctuary. So you kind of park over here, right? It's right off 78. You come in here, there's gift shops, all that kind of good stuff. And I've broken this into a couple sections. So the first section is going to be right here. Okay. Second section, got a little crazy with my pin there. Third section, all right, and then this last little back section. Okay. So I broke it up into 4 quote unquote stops. It's a lot to take in all at once, but it is there and it works. And this is kind of, I think, the best way to break it up into a little bit of digestible pieces. One thing that we didn't talk about, that I didn't talk about too much, is this guy right here, the peacock. All right. So cool thing about the wildlife sanctuary is they have peacocks literally running around the entire facility the whole time. They're not caged. They're just out and about. It's pretty cool. They'll let you feed them, got to get special food for them, but you can feed them. You got the males, which are the brightly colored ones, and the females, which are the duller gray ones. All right. And we'll talk a little bit about why that is when we talk about evolutionary things. But right now we're just going to talk about the Yellow River Wildlife Sanctuary. So here's how this is broken down. We have a stop right here, and these are the animals on our first stop. There's a big deer pen, the gray wolves, the black bear, which is a big, huge, the turkey vultures, the black vultures, and the river otters, which is always fun to watch. Okay. So what you're going to do down here, you're going to click this. All right. I have it set up to where the video plays. It's about 9 minutes into the video itself, and you're going to watch it till it reaches 10 minutes. Okay. So pause the video, hit this button, and watch that video. All right. Welcome back. Next is going to be the animal research page. So for each one of these animals, all right, you are going to go onto their website. This is a direct link to it. Okay. Sorry, I'm changing over my my drawer to a more of a highlighter here. All right, so you're going to click this link right here. And when you click the link, watch to about 10 minutes. All right, so pause the video now and do that. All right, welcome back. After that, what you're going to do is you're going to click this link right here. Okay, so in that link, all right, it's going to lead you straight to their page. Okay, so what I want you to do is you'll see they have all the animals that they have. Sometimes they have them all, sometimes it doesn't. You know, you can see them all. It kind of depends. You know, most wildlife sanctuaries, zoos, aquariums, a lot of times these animals are taken from the wild. They're injured, they're hurt, all right? And what they're used for, you know, or they're not what they're used for. A lot of times they can't be returned back to the wild. Like it's going to be problematic. They will not do well in nature if they are returned. So what we have here is a place where they can go, live out the rest of their lives in relative peace. Okay. So click the link, it'll take you, and you're going to click on, let's, for example, gray wolf. Okay. On the Google Sheet that is attached to this assignment, I'm asking for these categories right here, like average size, average weight, lifespan, diet, where they live, characteristics, all right, things like that. And I'm asking also for one interesting fact. So on this page, we have like the gray wolves. So I'd click there. All right, let's see if I can find the otters real quick. Probably, nope, here we go. All right, otters, cute little guys, aren't they? So you got all this stuff, but then you also have, you know, your reading here, which is where you can find your interesting facts about them. All right, cool beans. So we got all, so you're going to do that for the white-tailed deer, the gray wolves, the black bear, the turkey vulture, the black vulture, and the river otter. All right, on to the next stop. All right, so as we said, the next stop is going to be right here. All right, this is kind of like a petting zoo. It's good, it's fun. The kids love it. Little kids love it. Honestly, even adults love it. I love it. But let's check out that stop. So here, we call it the barnyard. It looks just like this right up here. All right. So once again, click the link. It'll take you to the video. Click the animal research page, and you're going to collect information about each of these animals. It's all on the Google Sheets. You know, it has the categories like the size, the weight, lifespan, where they live, things of that nature. All right. Once again, on the video, watch till 8 minutes and 46 seconds. All right. And our next stop is going to be this section over here. All right. One of the most fun things I remember as a child is going to see the buffalo. All right. You get to feed the buffalo at the entrance. You can buy like a little cup, souvenir cup, and it has a bunch of lettuce in it. And you can feed any of the animals that you see in the yellowish color. All right, once again, all the cool guys. So here's the American bison or buffalo. All right, you got raccoons. All right, coyotes, porcupines. All right, you got a great horned owl. So once again, here are your animals that you're going to be doing the research on the animal research page. Here's stop number 3. You're going to watch it till 6 minutes and 38 seconds, and then come back and finish up. All right, last section is on this back end. There's a lot of open space back here. There's picnic areas. You know, they don't mind if you bring a lunch, make a day of it. It's really nice. It's just like I said, it's not quite as crazy and as hectic as the Atlanta Zoo, and you get much closer and up, more personal with the animals. They're still in cages. They're not all roaming like the peacocks roaming around, but it's a great way to support a small kind of zoo of sorts, but also get to see and feed some of these animals. All right, so here are your animals that you're going to look at. All right. Once again, animal research page. Now you're going to stop, or you're going to watch this video till 3 minutes and 30 seconds. All right. So I'll pause and you can do that. All right, guys. So here's our last page. And what we're going to do here is we're actually going to take some observational data. All right. So the link we'll talk about in just a second, all right, is a link to, I think, a San Diego zoo where they have ring-tailed lemurs. Unfortunately, the Yellow River Wildlife Sanctuary doesn't have like live cameras, so we couldn't do it there, but this is still kind of analogous to what we would be doing if we went there on a field trip. Okay. So you click the link, and once you click the link, you'll see the video is about, 20 minutes, 21 minutes. Okay. Don't worry, we're not doing all 21. Okay. So no worries there. You are going to pick a 7-minute window. So let's say, for example, you start the video at 7 minutes, you would watch to 14 minutes. Okay. So we'll be primarily taking qualitative observations. It can sometimes be quantitative, but most of the data we'll take this time will be qualitative. That is perfectly fine. Usually, as we talked about earlier in the year, we like quantitative data, but there is nothing wrong with qualitative data as well. Okay. So what you do is you click on the link right here. All right. Once you click on that link, it is going to take you to this web page. Okay. So this is at the bottom of your information sheet. So here's your information sheet, which is attached to the Google Docs and on the Google Classroom. So here's where you're going to take your information that we talked about at the beginning of the video. All right. Here is your observational portion for the ring-tailed lemurs. Okay, so name, period, just like always. Time period. So I've broken this down into 7, essentially 1-minute time periods. So what you're going to put here is you have the start time, all right, which in this case would be 7:00 if I'm starting at 7 minutes. Okay. Next one would be 8:00, so forth and so on. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, while I watch the video, I'm going to type down my observations. All right. 8 minutes. Type those observations. 9 minutes. Type those observations. 10 minutes, 11 minutes. You kind of get the idea here. Okay. So this sheet and this sheet, all right, is how you will be graded for this virtual field trip. So you need to make sure everything is filled out, everything's good to go. Not only your kind of data collection from the website, but also your observational data that we collected here. All right, guys, that's what we got for this, our virtual field trip. As always, if you have questions, bring them into class. We'll be happy to talk over them, go over, and answer anything that you're having questions over that you're struggling with. All right, guys, see you then. Have a good one.